news running rampant. You got WWE superstars tweeting about it. You got Finn Balor tweeting about it every day. And I say Finn Balor because of Sheamus. And, the possibility of these guys coming into the WWE is huge. Now, I'm going to kind of play the devil's advocate a little bit. I would love for every single one of the members of Bullet Club to come to the WWE. The question is, with the history of all the injuries right now in the company, are bringing in a guy like AJ Styles, who just almost possibly had to miss some time in ROH in New Japan with a back injury, still finished and still did it and put on one hell of a match. Let me tell you, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Is it worth it, man? They're bringing him in. And the answer is, of course it is. The Balor Club would be huge. The chances of them pushing a group of people in the next 3 months, or the fact of them pushing a superstar in the next 3 months, really isn't possible. An invasion with a faction, though, I think definitely has the possibilities to create some excitement in the WWE. Now, if AJ Styles just came in off the bat, okay, maybe not. If you had guys like Don Gallows and I'm kind of bummed that Kenny Omega and all those guys are staying over there. Tama Tonga re-signed. Rocky Romero signed for 2 years. So we're looking right now at Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, AJ Styles, and Shinsuke Nakamura. And let me if you don't know who Nakamura is, and I'll be honest, I do not watch New Japan Pro Wrestling religiously. I've seen probably 15 or 20 of Nakamura's matches, whether it be on YouTube or downloaded or any way of consuming it. So I'm not an expert. I don't watch a lot of his stuff. But some of the matches that he has had are, oh my God, we need Nakamura. And I worry about them messing up Nakamura. I definitely do when you sign a talent of this caliber. Are they needed at NXT right now is the big question. Is NXT a brand on its own? Can these guys skip it? And can the Balor Club come right into the main roster? And my answer has to be yes. WWE is not in a good place right now with all the injuries. And when it comes to a faction, Nexus came out of nowhere. Nexus was filled with a bunch of guys at the time that really didn't do anything. Michael Tarver, you kind of failed from NXT. And they just kind of became a wrecking force. And I think that's kind of what the Balor Club would be. Now, if Finn Balor was already on the main roster, it would make more sense if he brought in some backup. I think that would definitely help. I see this going down many different ways, and like I said, it's not my job no more to book this stuff. I don't really want to book it, but I think this is a very interesting thing to talk about, and I think it would be great because Finn is getting put over big by Triple H. I think him coming in and introducing him, and then Triple H is out in the middle of the ring like, yeah, Finn's here. This is what's up. This is my plan C. But then the Bullet Club music hits, and Finn's like, yeah, I don't think so, boss. And they two-sweet everybody in the ring, and AJ Styles hits a Styles Clash on Triple H and takes him out. I think that would be crazy. Like I said, I'm not going to try to book it, but I definitely think that would be an interesting way to go in the terms of WrestleMania, of trying to make WrestleMania 32 the biggest, because the chances of you bringing in Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, everybody knowing who they are, or making a big push right off the bat just based on their names isn't going to happen. I see Shinsuke more as New Japan Pro Wrestling. They just launched the WWE Network in Japan, and that's the first thing I tweeted out. When, they signed these guys, they said, okay, this is great. They just launched in Japan. They want to get more subscriptions in Japan. Well, you need to have guys that people in Japan are familiar with. Now, people in Japan are familiar with WWE wrestling, obviously, but when it comes down to it, if you have 4 familiar faces, Nakamura taking Yoshitatsu's place, or taking any superstar from a specific region, like that would promote it. Like, if you watch in over in TNA, why can I not remember his name right now? It's shaking me. I know him. I watch him. I like him. The Shiva Shuffle, not the Shiva Shuffle. What's his name, guys? Let me know in the comment section below if you know what I'm talking about. He kind of represents India. India was willing to pay for a tour over there for him so he could get a push. So I definitely think it's very smart of the WWE to go after Nakamura. I hope they're going after Nakamura because he's fucking Nakamura and he's awesome. I hope they're not going after him just to boost network signups and they're eventually going to release him after a year, because that would suck. He has got amazing talent. Seeing these guys wrestle Kevin Owens or, would be huge. Now, there is a part of me that, the IWC market last year would have been like, fuck no, I don't care. Just bring him in here, sign him, whatever. Hideo comes in and he's injured. He's out for 8 months right away. It scares me. I would be very afraid for WWE if they did bring in this stable. Bullet Club is over huge, and then Finn or Styles or Gallows or Anderson, if any one of them got hurt, they're taking a risk there. So like I said, it's not my job to predict how they're going to book this, where they should go, but I think it's an interesting thing to think about, where as much as I'm 100% get every single one of these guys in here, bring them up to the main roster, have the Balor Club take over, because the Balor Club would be huge. We need a big faction right now on TV. I think it would definitely be good. Even if it was the Balor Club was related to Triple H. If Triple H brought in all these guys and he was the Authorities faction, the Wyatts were kind of doing their own thing. They weren't really listening. You bring in the Balor Club as kind of the Authority henchmen. You could do that. There's a lot of interesting possibilities, but the big thing is I think it's definitely got to happen. And the piece that I want to let them know, guys, WWE, don't screw this up. Don't bring them in just for network signups. Don't bring them in for all this other stuff. Bring them in because they're awesome, and I think they could definitely help sell and make WrestleMania 32 awesome. Hell, even if it was for a couple months, I would take it. Anything to get these guys in the company. I want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. Balor Club, do you want them? Maybe you don't have any idea who the Bullet Club is over in New Japan Pro Wrestling. AJ Styles definitely needs to be in this company. I think it'd be great. You just can't have injuries. And the Balor Club to WrestleMania 32 to take over the world. Until next time, we will see you all later.